Hey guys, welcome. So recently I was reading the first volume, deluxe edition, I got as a birthday present, and it just reminded me of like a lot of the lessons that you can actually take away from Berserk. So I want to actually, as I was reading through it, I was in the back of my head, I was kind of thinking, oh, okay, like I can kind of take this away from it, and this and this and stuff. So yeah, I wanted to actually go through it because I feel like honestly, a lot of animes and books and movies out there have a lot of good lessons, and it's kind of a good idea when you're watching stuff to take note mentally or actually physically on the stuff that you're watching. So when it comes to trading, this is something I feel like I can kind of take notes from. So never giving up. I don't want to give away too many spoilers for anybody that is never read it before or anything like that. But basically, the main character Guts is extremely resilient. I won't spoil too much of his story, but he had a very hard childhood, and through everything, and a lot of which is actually some of the one of the main reasons I love Berserk so much. Like, I mean, I have a tattoo based off of it. So, uh, yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite all time mangas and animes, and yeah, the story's it's quite dark, but through everything, he stays resilient, and he never gives up, which is it's incredible. And when I really needed that kind of lesson, that kind of inspiration, motivation, that's that's why I really got into Berserk, and I think I read the whole manga, which is quite long, in like less than a week or something like that. I was just so absorbed into it, and yeah, I was going through a hard time, but it really inspired me in the character Guts. He's so resilient, and he never gives up, and he's very inspiring to me. So I really appreciated how real this story is. It's very dark, but it shows real aspects of life. I know for me, I think sometimes the animes that I like personally and mangas are the ones that hit more real concepts of life. I don't really like kiddie ones. I know some people are going to get offended. I'm gonna throw some shots here at uh, at the One Piece, for example. I don't think it's horrible, but I do think that um, it is a bit kiddish. So yeah, I mean, I think later on it does get more real and whatever. I just it's a it's a very long series, so hopefully I don't piss too many people off there saying that, but that's my opinion. I like more serious ones, and I've always been extremely into medieval stuff as well. And there's a huge theme of that. He's not a knight, he's a mercenary, but he's fighting knights and stuff like that. So I really enjoy that kind of that world and atmosphere and whatever. So we'll move on to the next thing here. Needing purpose. Again, I'm not going to reveal too much, but there's an analogy that comes into uh, that's quite crucial in one of the break. I would say it's like a breaking point or whatever, or turning point in Gut's journey is he needs to find a purpose other than himself. He's being endlessly just surviving without anything deeper down than that, and it starts to affect him, whatever. And how does that relate to trading, right? So I think to stay in the game and have a reason to never give up when it comes to trading, you need to have a deeper purpose than just being like, oh, I'm going to be a good trader. Like it needs to be, or I'm going to be chasing money. Like, it has to be something deeper than such a um, surface level thing like that. So, for me, it's transforming my life and my family's as being one of the main ones. I mean, there's more to it than that, but ultimately, I do think trading is something that continually pushes you to improve as a person and learn more about yourself and look inwards. And ultimately, the thing that makes me continue to come back to it is knowing that it does do that for me, but also it can be that thing that changes my life and my family's for the better. So, yeah, needing purpose is quite big, and that's something that the Berserk shows. So, running away from emotion, your fears, you have to face the darkness to overcome it. So, Guts is, yeah, again, without revealing too much, he has a lot of trauma, and he runs away from a lot of it. A lot of that emotion is built up into anger. Uh, I'm sure many of you can relate to that of running away from your emotions, trying not to deal with it. Um, but there's a few instances that it comes crumbling down for him, and he really needs to reflect. And that's something with trading. We can't just continually run away. It will come and bite us in the ass when we run away from emotions and we're not taking the time to self-reflect and see what's wrong with us, our journey, what other aspects of our life are affecting our trading, things like that. So, emotions are massive in trading. And in this instance, I think Berserk shows a good look into how running away from your emotions can build up and really affect you. So yeah, going on to the next point here, we can see balancing using anger as fuel. So actually, there's actually a good part of using anger. You need to be uh, more specific in the way you use your anger, because it's a similar thing with your emotions. It can build up and really affect people around you specifically, and yourself as well. So What do I mean by using anger? So I think you can use it as motivation. You need to, keep it in check, obviously. But if you're just, for me, for example, I'm pissed. Usually, I'm pissed at myself that hey, like I should have known better than that. I should know to trust myself. And it's not like pure anger of just like I want to fucking punch something in the wall. Like obviously that's extreme, and you should not be getting to the point like that. But you can use like the anger of like wanting to get better, right, to fuel you to continue to improve. But that's what I mean by trying to manage it, because if you're too angry, you're going to be emotional and impulsive in your trades and end up making mistakes. And that's something, especially with trading, that you can't let it get out of control. But you can use it to your favor. You don't have to completely hide away and act like, hey, I don't get angry because I make mistakes. Like we're human, and it's okay to get angry. It's okay to get upset, but you need to take a step back and be able to manage yourself and be like, okay, I am angry right now, and that's going to make me try harder, and that's going to make me want to do better. But for now, I need to take a chill pill. I need to cool off. I need to take a break. So uh, things aren't as always as they seem. I think for trading, that definitely is a huge thing. Because actually, I guess I should relate this first to Berserk and how that makes sense for this. There's people around him, and circumstances that don't exactly seem as they are. There's a lot behind the scenes. There's this mystical world that, at an initial glance, people you don't really think about too much, but because now he's seen the other side of it, he gets to question those kind of things and realize that maybe there's a bigger picture to it. Where before, I guess he also is very like single-minded, and he turns as his journey goes on. He transforms into allowing people in, being more vulnerable, and that actually, with that vulnerability, you actually see a lot more growth in him. Which for me, I always thought vulnerability. Wow, I thought vulnerability, as a man specifically, was a weakness, and I don't think that's the case. I think obviously there is a limit to how vulnerable you should be, especially with certain people. And it is a man thing to be able to be a rock for people around you and be able to push through and stuff like that. But it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to have break down. It's okay to those are all things that allow you to grow. Like if you're not being vulnerable and exposing yourself, then you're also not reflecting and looking inwards. So yeah, things are not always the same. Back onto the topic, when you are trading and you're looking at charts, maybe you're seeing a certain pattern for yourself, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's true. That's what I mean with that. So there's definitely a lot of that when it comes to trading. It's definitely not always as it seems. You can't just there's no concrete 100% when it comes to trading. That actually reminds me. I'll bring it up. So somebody was like talking in one of my comments on a video I made, and was like, "Oh wow, like next time take a better entry, buddy," or something like that. And I was like, initially, I'm not gonna my initial reaction, I had just woken up, was to be like, "Okay, fuck you." Like, that was a bit rude. I don't know why this guy had to come at me like that. But then I was like, you know what? Yes, he might have hinted at a little bit of passive aggressiveness there, but let's be honest, 100% he is right. I could have taken a better entry, and my response was like, "Hey, like a win is a win." Like there is no 100%, there is no perfection in trading. If at the end of the day you're able to still get a win, I don't know why you need to be critiquing everything. I didn't go into that detail, but that's my opinion on the matter. Is there is no going to be 100% when it comes to trading, and there's no need to break down every little detail. And I think that's a problem with traders nowadays. Is that there's always this like need for perfection, and you're just not going to find that with trading. Yeah, sometimes you'll have a really nice setup and you get lucky and you get in it, but like back to back continuously forever having those kind of trades just is impossible. I can confidently say it's impossible in trading. Nothing is 100% certain when it comes to trading. All right, so another thing here, sometimes you have to question your loyalties, beliefs, values, etc. I think that also ties back into things are not always as they seem. Very similar situation. He gets betrayed by people very close to him, guts. And I think, yeah, in trading, you have to certain times you have to take a step back and be like, okay, well, this isn't working for me. If you're continuously losing and losing and losing, you need to take a step back and be like, okay, maybe my values, maybe my beliefs, maybe my rules, whatever it is that's making you take those trades, you need to reflect and be like, okay, let me question this. It's clearly not working out for me. So there has to be, that aspect of self-awareness and reflection when it comes to trading. Okay, emotions, trauma don't have to define you. Again, as I noted, Guts went through a lot, and the thing is that you can see initially he really lets that close himself off from people and from the world, and just be consumed by anger. But at the end of the day, that's one thing. There is a transformation in him, and he doesn't let it define who he is. You can see that he starts to open up and grow as a person, rather than like I mentioned, his vulnerability actually makes him stronger in my eyes, and he ends up having teammates and stuff like that, which make him stronger. but which actually comes into another thing here. We can see here, I actually took a screenshot of one of the pages, and he mentions basically that you shouldn't be dependent on other people. I think with trading, this is it's nice to have a community and have people that you can talk to and support each other and continue to motivate each other to push forward. But I think there needs to be a limit in what you share. Um, you can share ideas, but don't let it consume your ideas. You know what I mean? Like don't be trading off of other people's ideas solely. Have some self reliance because at the end of the day, if that person goes on a losing streak, you're gonna be confused. What's going on? Like depending on anybody, at the end of the day, pure reliance on anyone it's impossible. You can't just rely on other people in your life. You need to have some form of self-reliance because there's going to be an instant where you have to be self-reliant, where you're the only person in your life that you can depend on is you. I have family around me and friends, and I'm grateful for that. But sometimes, even you're in your darkest moments, when you're alone in your head, they'll never be able to understand you. Nobody's ever going to be able to completely understand you. I think that it's a human thing that we all want to be understood, and I think that's why we're able to, the friends we make, the connections we make are because we feel understood, feel seen, and you may say that, oh, like I have somebody in my life that completely sees me for who I am. If that's true, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm very happy for you. That's great, but there is no guarantee this is going to go to a dark place. That person's going to be around forever, so there's always that chance that you're going to be alone in life. And yeah, self-reliance is incredibly important in being successful in life and improving yourself and being better for people around you as well. Depending on others, especially again, I'll go back to the man thing. As a man, you want to be that rock for people around you. You want to be, I know for me personally, I'm not in that state of my life currently. I'll be vulnerable here. I don't feel like a lot of people look up to me. I have my sisters in certain instances, they have told me that they look up to me, but I don't feel like that a lot of the time. And as a man, I know that's something that affects my confidence as I present myself. That I want to be seen as somebody, and I want to be, and continually strive to be a person that people can rely on, and people that I see see as strong, and know that I am self reliant and I don't have to depend on other people. And that's something I'm still working on. And yeah, anyways, I think you get the idea how that relates to trading, how important that is. So I think there's a few more notes here. Dwelling on the past. Okay, so clearly, with trading, if you're continuing with anything in life, if you're continuing dwelling on your mistakes and just we can see here, he's the character's name is Puck. He's a little fairy that ends up helping Guts out. He's like a positive little. You could it's kind of seem like that little angel on his shoulder. He jokes around and stuff. It's a nice little like light and humor that adds to such a dark world that the Berserk world is. So it's nice to have him as a character. Anyways, yeah, he in this instance he talks about moving forward, and with trading, yeah, you need to you need to be able to look at your mistakes and realize, hey, what did I do wrong? And that's why I think journaling is so important when it comes to trading. But you can't just dwell on it and just sit in that, oh, I'm a failure, oh, messed up. Like you're never going to move forward without taking that first step, right? You need to keep moving forward to improve. So that goes with anything in life, and that definitely goes for in trading. The reward for ambition too great is self-destruction. So I think this one kind of, I don't know, maybe somebody takes it a different way, but for me, this is kind of the idea I'm getting from this is like, having too great of a ego, too great of goals that are unrealistic can crumble you. So like, for example, um, my personal example was uh, so when I was in my first start of the journey, I was doing well and I had realistic goals. I was, aiming with the amount of money I was having, I was doing well. I was growing steadily. I was having little losing trades here or there, but I was cutting them. I was being responsible. And then I started to get a bit of an ego, and I started getting unrealistic goals. I was looking at other people around me and saying that, oh, they were going to come be a millionaire. Or they had already become a millionaire. And I'm like, well, why can't I be a millionaire? Like, I know what I'm doing. Like, I'm going to do the same trade as this guy and I'm going to become a millionaire too. And then I started, you know, going in my calculator and being like, okay, if price hits this, I'm going to be, and I'm talking about stocks right now. I'm sure you guys might have heard if you're involved in the stock world of AMC and Jimmy. So I was part of that, and it really fucked me up. Anyways, yeah. So I was like, calculating in my calculator, like, oh, if it hits 1,000, I'm gonna have this much money. If it hits this price, I'm gonna have this much money. And I kept reading these theories of like, it could hit this price and all this stuff, and just getting completely absorbed in this fantasy of like, price hitting this and whatever, and instead of being strict with myself and having and being grounded by reality. And there's people around me that were telling me, hey, like this is probably what's realistic, and I just kept ignoring them. I was like, no, like I was very caught up in the movement and whatever it is, but regardless, I have no one to blame for myself. It was my own decisions that I took trades like that, and I took such a great risk. So having that incredible ambition to be a millionaire so quickly is actually something that ruined me. So, yeah, I do think with trading, ambition too great is can lead to your self destruction. Uh, it's your life. Do what you want with it. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, this is true. This is quite dark here. I didn't want to spoil too much, but basically, this girl's uh, threatening to kill herself, and in a very vulnerable moment, Guts is like, you know what, it's your life, do what you want. Like, I don't care. He's quite blunt like this, and yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I do think there's a valuable lesson to take away from this. Is like, it is your life. Take control of it. You don't be putting blames on other people. Like at the end of the day, it's your decision. Uh, take control. Uh, yeah. I was hoping to have more of a motivational message on that, but I'm seeing here that the video is getting pretty long, so I think I'll close it off there. Ultimately, in whatever you're watching and whatever you're reading, there's a lot of lessons to be taken away. And with trading, I think a lot of it has to do with your psychology. When it comes from me, the easy part of trading is the actual trading aspect of it. The charting up. That's all easy stuff. That stuff you can all learn in a book and online on videos. Like that's like school. If you try hard enough at anything like that, you can learn it. And uh, yeah, to me, it's become easy. The part that I continue to struggle with is the psychological aspect, managing yourself. And that's ultimately something you're going to continue to struggle with for your entire journey with trading. Even the best traders have their slumps. There is no continuous going up forever in a straight line, with trading. Yeah, you can ultimately still keep going up, but like, there's going to be those slumps. So yeah, like life, trading your trading journey is going to be a roller coaster. So embrace the ups and downs. Learn from it, and ultimately never stop giving up, or never stop giving, never give up. My goodness. Oh my gosh. What's that? What's that Fortnite guy? Fuck, I'm never. Oh my gosh, it's right on the tip of my tongue. It's like some Fortnite dude. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I thought it was funny. It just popped in my head when I was saying never give up. Never back down, never give up, or something like that. I don't remember. It's funny to me. Whatever. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you took something away from this video. And yeah, peace.